Hi, welcome back to a new part of our tutorial to build a spaceship. Today we won't make separate things. I don't know exactly. We start and modeling. So when you see this back here, you see the mystery thing here is a half circle, and then something is cut out, and it goes smaller at the front, and then comes this part there. So that we want to model. Good. So at first we take a look from close behind there. Then we add mesh a circle, rotate X 90, scale down. That is that. A little bit greater. Give you screencast keys. We take the half from them. So we delete what we don't need. There's that here. X, delete words. Good. And when we look at that whole thing, that is there. You see that comes out and was smaller at the top then. So we extrude that in Y and scale it a little bit down. So we have that effect there. Good. And there are some cuts between them. So we give here a loop in to get more this style. And then only we have to cut in here some holes and give them a thickness there, and that is all. We can round up these edges here, so we can take another loop and put it here. Then I don't know exactly. Good. So we want to cut in there the holes. So for that, there are two long holes. So we make here another loop for the first hole, then for the second hole. Now we delete the edges between. That means they can go. So X, delete edges. So we have these holes in. How should that be round? With a modifier. So we take here subdivision surface modifier, and it is round, and this edges too. That isn't now real smooth, so we give them smooth, and it isn't thick, so we need another modifier. It is a solidify. And now you see we put them before that. That is important, what comes before, what comes to last, to get a good result. Here thickness, you can give them more or less like you would. So we have that thing there. That is this one here. Good. Now that was number one, and we need number two. That is this one here and this inner type. So we make the same. Add mesh circle, rotate X 90, scale down. We take our mesh there to see how big it must be. to have the same size. Where is it gone? It is behind. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So we take that and make it. Where is it gone? Ah, set origin to geometry. Good. So we see now the size of them. So we can get our circle in that size and make the same. We delete what we don't need. So that means we delete that here. Before we do that, we make a copy of that. Shift D to duplicate, P to separate, selection. Now this is single mesh. Then we take that here and delete that. And you see at the down part that isn't completely round, there is some long standing out there. So we extrude that 2 points a little. Then we take this whole thing and extrude it to the top like that and scale them down, but bring them to, when we look from top, to this side that we have here, straight line. Good. That is simply all what we got to do. Maybe a little bit too much. Good. Here we do the same like before. We give them a thickness and roundness too. And we have here to cut in a hole where comes light out later. So that means we cut here 2 loops in, and that we bring down or inside, like you would call it. Extrude, scale down, and we have this hole that we light up later. We smooth that all. We have here these shading arrows in, so we have to make here loops for shading on each side. And surely in this too, and on the sides too. Good, that's better. Now we give them this solidify too. I give them here a thickness like the other one is. That can be the same. Look from top. Look, and it is the same. That is good. This one should be have the same size like the other, I think. I must look which is the original. The original is so too. So we make it that we take here the top line and scale them down to the size of the other one. So we get that. Okay. Should be a little bit more in the set down. So we scale set, but with proportional editing on. Such like that. Good. We can give them here a subdivision surface too, but it don't works as hard as all the other because we have here our shading loops in and that sharpens them up. So that looks like that. But we can take here surely a loop to get this shading arrow gun. Good. We done that. That is good for this moment. We can bring that, by the way, move that here, not to another layer. We take it directly for making that. So we scale them down a little, bring the geometry to the origin and get this on here. It is like a Tomcat or Falcon jet, that is the same. So we can here take vertex, connect it out and extrude it out and make it a little bit smaller, but not too much. Then we extrude scale for the thickness, in this case, extrude downward. Then we want to have this inner ring there, so we take here another loop, bring it down there, mark that whole loop and extrude that into. Then we have that in a line there. At least we close that with F so that we have there some to get this color in there. You see that it goes deeper. That means here is a cut also in. So we can take that here and extrude that a little down, and we can cut in here. Think here. That is good. And we make the same. We take here this loop, mark them, extrude scale, and bring it into shading arrows and smoothing. So we make here the loop, there a loop. Here we need no loops because here the shading can be flat, so we take here flat and then there is no shading arrow. Good. Here surely it isn't that way, so we must take here loops. So that is our blaster there, and we bring them also into. So we got that. Can be maybe a little more in. Yeah. And that can be a little bit near, so we scale that in the X. So we have it near, and that we scale on X2. So we got that. Okay. That I don't like that there. So we can take that and bring it here to normal. Then we take here a loop in to make it as sharp as at the other side too. And here the same. So we have a harder transfer there. And here we make also one. Good. So we got that all in all. That isn't what we want, so a little bit connected scaling to bring it on some that we can take for it. That isn't it. So we get this whole thing in scale set. Then this loop, scale set. Yeah, that isn't good. We go back. Good, then we take it on the lighter way. The lighter way is to get it here other way. So we scale it here. And we have that. That looks for me okay when it's later inside this whole thing. Will be fine. Good, we done that. Now the next one is to build this round stuff there. Here is some not correct. So I scale x0, so we have a straight line. Here the same. Scale x0. Now it must be the same space between. Okay. Then this round thing here. So we add mesh circle, scale down, rotate x90, scale down. Then edit mode, extrude scale, and F to close. So we got that. And then we only bring that out. I will make here another lighting point in. So I bring here another loop in and intrude that whole thing with extrude and push it to the Y. There we make later lighting. So we smooth that all. Now think on the shading. This front can be flat because there is no other thing that flat. Okay, that is that we bump to the top and the down part. And then we have that rotate x90. So that is for down. We bring it on there. And on this position. So we look from side and rotate X to bring it on there. Yeah, a little bit higher that it hits both. Okay, that here can be scaled in the set. So we take that here and with proportional on, we get a scale set. Okay, then we take only this edges here with background selection and word selection and give them a scale set to scale Y in this case. So we got that, and then we make here another loop in and get the rest with them and scale that up, but without proportional. So we get the fitting better. Good, we see that isn't now at the middle, so that we need to take this and bring it to middle. Good. We have this thing here, and we put it on the other side too, so Shift D and bring it up to rotate X 180. Rotate X 180. Rotate X 180. Bring it up and a little into. Good. That is that. Fine for now. Then we need to make these things here. So we add mesh circle there too. Scale them down. Rotate X90. Good. This one needs to extrude to the back, and it is not similar, so we need a second loop at front for shading, surely, at back, surely, and one here, and scale them up so we got that effect from that what we have there. The same we make here, thickness, extrude scale, extrude and bring it to the Y, close with F, and scale it a little down. So we got that. Let's move on. It looks like that. That is good for now. We can give here this glowing interim shit there. So we put in there two loops, scale Y, and extrude scale, bring there a cut in. So then we have to loop surely for the shading. This face needs no smooth, that needs flat one. And this here too. Good. So we got that from them. We have two, and on the other side too. So we will make later instances of them. Okay. So we done that. File save. That we can take in another form for here too, but we're not there for that in the moment. So we have many other things to do. One is here at the down part of the ship. We have that thing here. So we add mesh a circle, rotate X90, scale down, bring it in front. Good. We start with edit mode, bird selection, extrude it up, extrude scale it in the middle a little, bring it out to the Y, extrude scale to bring it in there, extrude grab in, and scale. Then we close with F. So we got that thing here. And that is surely that what we have here. we need to have here this 4 coming out parts. So for that, we take this one here, that one, and 2 on this sides. We have here a count that isn't a straight count, so we can do that here and there. And we now extrude them to the top. So we got that here. That is nearly what we want, so we smooth that. We need hard edges for that. So that means we have to loop here all. Like every time before. Shading must be good. And mark what can be flat. So we got that. Now we have here to shade 2. Yes, and that with all this outgoing stuff there. Okay. So we got that thing too. That is good. We will make there later some textures on, then it looks much better than now. But for the start, it is okay. Good. We can take also subdivision surface that makes it harder. But then we have to bring up here a non-smooth area and a non-resolution. So we can extrude scale simply, and then it's gone. Good. That's good enough. So we have done that. You see that comes often in this model that we use them then. Here, such little things we can build fast. So this one we pull a little bit greater so that we don't lose that later. Here we can rotate that a little. Then we see what we must build. Add mesh plane, rotate X90, scale down, bring it in front view, scale X. We got that. Then we go and extrude that, scale them down, scale them more in the Z and more in the X. Then we take here this edges, and before we do that we need 2 loops. So 2 loops in, scale in the Z, and then we can take this both and scale X. So we got that point there. That is good. This one here, this loop, we take and scale Z0 to make it straight. Here the same, scale Z0. So we got that. Good. We want to get here a cut in. So take that here and scale Z2. So we got that cut before. And one we set here and bring them into. So we mark that, extrude scale in, and we have that in. Same we make here. And then we got the thing done. It don't must be perfectly like that. It's good, well, like it is now. Good. Um, Such like that, we should build two. And this little noob's there. So we add mesh cube, scale down, scale set, bring out, get edit mode, edge, and bring them to the Y. Before we must make there a loop in. Now we go to the Y. So we have that here. We scale it in the Y a little, so we have that thing there. Good. This we can use as an instance later, so we don't need much words on word count in our scene. So because of that, we leave it like it is in the moment. We make from that instance some tag down. Good. This is this part where it all pops on. So we will make there later some cuts in. Forget these shapes there. Good. What we can do is make this thing here. So we add mesh plane, rotate X 90, scale down, bring it in front. So scale X to that point. Then we need here two loops in, scale X, and give it to in horizontal, control R, two loops, scale Z to bring up, and then we can position the points between. So we got that style. And when we have that style, we take that all and extrude that again, bring it to the Y and scale down a little. Then we got that one. So here comes two noobs out. So we can take here a loop and then we can drag out it. So that simply means that we extrude it here and then scale X 0. So we have the straight line there. So we can make it here too, extrude to the X and scale X 0 to make it straight line. So we got that. This line shouldn't be that way, so we can get here one line, or we take better this two here and bring them down. Now that don't looks like I would. So then we bring down the two and yeah, to that point, and we bring that to this point. Same here, down to here, down to that point and up. Same we do there. Good. We're nearly done that. and I see this here I will take off. So X, dissolve edges, here the same, dissolve edges, then it's gone. Good. So we have that one. Not nice, but individual. So you can say it. But these two we should bring in a straight line. So when we look from top, we can tweak that all good. So here, and surely with background selection, that point, bring it straight to. Good. We done that thing, that ugly thing. I don't know where I lost the point, but okay, sometimes that happens. So we can only try to get the best out of it. So, okay, here, okay, a little bit more there. That's good, my God. That is a little thing there. Nobody cares about that. And we can make some another loop here and before one and give them the scale there. So we have that thing here. When we take them here, this whole shit, and scale them up. So we got that figure thing there. Good. Enough done with that shit there. Okay. Good. Then comes here this little tweak outs there. So we add mesh, cube, scale down, positioning, grabbing, positioning, scale in the X little, bring out, edit mode, edge selection, bring down. We get it. We make instances from them and put it on all the sides. Good. That was it for today. We see us in the next tutorial. So see you. Bye.